All right, so with version 6.6 quite literally out today, out right now in some regions and out later in other regions, I think the important question now is to discuss whether or not Mavuika is actually going to be worth it in this version. So let's look at just her in general, right? She is obviously going to be a Pyro main DPS, the Archon of Natlan, the Archon of War, essentially. She is extremely powerful, and we can go ahead and look at like a couple different tier lists right here on Gamer 8 and then also right here in Icy Veins. It's important to know that her overall damage output is extremely strong. That being in both Melt and Overload, she is a very capable main DPS character, and you can look right here, even in a sub DPS capability, she's extremely powerful. But in the sub DPS category, when it comes to the Pyro, she also is competing with the likes of Durin, who is also rerunning in phase 1, and the main DPS role that she primarily wants to be focused on. If this loads real quick, come on team, give me the teams. I'll talk about it right here and then we'll look at it down the road once it actually loads in, hopefully. Is that Mavuika is a Night Soul character. She loves energy, but unlike most of the cast with Genshin, Night Soul's only accumulated through other Natlan characters. So ideally for a main DPS role, this is essentially like a main DPS capability for her main DPS support. So you have Sitlali obviously for the Melt. This combination works beautifully. You have Yansan right here for the Overload team, which is extremely good, and Shalonen right here to provide res shred, healing, and all that great capability. And keep in mind, these three characters are very good when it comes to producing Night Soul. The Pyro Traveler is right here, kind of just ignore that. You can substitute him in for like a Bennett type character to provide a lot of, you know, attack buffs. And this is essentially the main Melt team, which what I said is Shalonen, Bennett, Sitlali. And then you also have an Overload team, which is down here. This would be like a main Overload team, or you can even run some of the likes of Durin in that spot, which is right here. And you can also see Nicole right there. Outside of a Natlan capability team, like I said, that she is a sub DPS character. She provides off-field pyro application as well as pyro damage, but she competes with another character like Durin in this instance, who is actually, in my opinion, a better off-field pyro applicator, providing more frequent use of the pyro and a little bit more damage and more consistent. And we also have to keep in mind here too is that we are moving into a whole new region. We have previously left Natlan, we went to Nodcry, and Nodcry we had the lunar meta, as you can see right here. We have other lunar DPS characters with Flins, Nefer, and Zibai. And now we're going to be going into Sneznaya and with the start of 7.0, and that too is going to be releasing a brand new mechanic, that being stellar reactions centered around the cryo main focus, right? Because it's Cryo Nation. So I honestly do think that while yes, Mavuika is extremely powerful and you can get the most out of her by doing a lot of tricky bike canceling mechanics, just different bike mechanics in general, if you want to give yourself arthritis, a lot of people joke around that, but it does take a lot of time in order to get the absolute maximum out of Mavuika. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it very time consuming? Yes, it is more time consuming than any of the other main DPS characters. Let's take someone like Zibai and Flins, for example. They are extremely strong characters when you have their proper team setups, and they are a lot simpler to play. You have a few buttons to click and you're good to go. It's a lot of damage, where compared to Mavuika, you have a lot of bike canceling, you have a lot of jumping, you have a lot of, you know, crashing down, doing damage. It's a lot of different mechanics built into her, while also having the other characters to play around and work with. So while a lot of people still consider her one of the top DPS characters, it's pretty safe to say that she has been dethroned in terms of overall damage capabilities by Zibai, even Nefer possibly. It's really up to you. Do you want to be having that Natlan DPS with the Night Soul mechanics for like possible future Natlan bosses when it comes to endgame content? Yes, but also on the flip side, like we're just going to be transitioning to a new meta that is leaving her behind, and even quite frankly, you're going to start leaving the other lunar meta characters behind. So I don't think it's actually worth getting Mavuika. I think you'd be more beneficial long term in order to get Nicole.